And we are AFRICENTRIX.
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 AFRICENTRIX with an X and an I and an X.
And welcome to our first debate. This is a debate featuring Isis and JC Kamau. And we will be debating which one is the better, Star Trek or Star Wars.
And this debate is part of the Portobello Pavilion annual event. This is our 2020 contribution. As you know, COVID stopped us from doing it for real, so we're doing it online. And we want to say a big thank you to SteamCo.
Yeah, and for all you nerds out there, enjoy.
And we hope also to be able to broadcast this as a podcast on Portobello Radio, who are part of our posse. So, Mr. Invigilator,
So,
Mr. Junior Thomlin,
let the game begin.
do you want to come a bit more forward so we can see you? We are socially distancing as well, people. There's roughly a meter between us.
So, Isis, in a couple of sentences, why do you love the show?
Well, so we thought we'd talk about this debate in sections. We'd talk about all the different aspects of each of these shows that make the show the best show ever, or series, or what would you call it? I don't know, because Star Trek, which obviously predates Star Wars by decades.
Yeah, but it got cancelled when it first came out.
Yeah. See, he's already jumped in. So Star Trek for me, the reason I am Star Trek all the way,
And the badge.
indeed, is because ever since I can remember, since I was a little child in the 60s, don't want to give away my age, but Star Trek was always there. It was one of the first science fiction franchise, I think that's the word I was looking for, to really go into this genre of sci-fi, of space travel, of alternative universes, in a way that no other had done before. Star Trek introduced us to a whole new world and a philosophy. And that's the thing for me. It's not just all the amazing spaceships and the amazing characters and all the amazing concepts, the philosophy that, you know, Gene Roddenberry, he was the creator of Star Trek. He was known to be a humanist, and his idea was that humans, we would evolve to such a stage that we would grow up and become, you're looking very skeptical, Mr. Kamau, we would become sort of post-violent civilization, no more war, post-capitalism, no more money. We found ways to cure all the illnesses. I'll never forget that one. And now I'm trying to remember which film it was. Is it the Voyage Home? When they are going to do the operation on Chekhov, and Bones is like, oh my God, this is inhumane. Why would you cut something open? And you pull out this amazing piece of tech, and he just fixes his brain because they think he's got brain damage. He's like, these people are so barbaric. So we don't cut into human flesh anymore. We found ways to just, you know, we've moved beyond all the fallacies, not the fallacies, all the faults that we have as humans, greed, war, disease, and yeah, for me it's the philosophy. I just love it. And of course we're going to spend some time talking about the various elements that make Star Trek the most superior sci-fi fantasy of all.
Over to you.
So you say that Star Trek came very, very a long time ago. But a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen, Star Wars. Okay, you can have the fact that it predates Star Wars. That's good for you. But at the end of the day, when Star Wars came out, it showed it to be the most popular thing that anybody has ever seen. People will standing outside the cinemas for queuing for ages to watch this fantastic film. And when they did, they made it the most successful franchise of all time when it comes to sci-fi. Number 5 at all when it comes to, it's got 65 billion pounds, dollars in all. And that makes it the 5th biggest media franchise of all time. All time. When it first came out, how many awards has Star Trek won? Not many. Not in the same caliber as the Star Wars.
Money
At the-
isn't everything. We're past that.
I'm
in Star
talking
Trek.
about when your peers say to you, your peers from your creative industry say, yes, what you did was fantastic. You won 6 Oscars, sorry. 6 Oscars. And Sir Alec Guinness was nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. Has Star Trek won any been nominated for any Oscars? Has it won any Oscars? No. Also, well, I haven't finished there. Also,
Invigilator.
John Williams, the music man, because it's not just ventured into the film world, it's ventured into the music world.
As a Star Trek.
Where John Williams has won a Grammy in 2020. Really recently. I swear that's this year. 2020. John Williams won an Oscar for Star Wars. And he won an Oscar in 1978 at the 50th Oscar ceremony, where they won 6. I'll add that again, they won 6. But it's not just music that is ventured into. The literary world is ventured into and has best-selling books, as well as the computer game world. The computer game world, where it has best-selling computer games, fantastic computer games, things that are beyond you and beyond people in the Star Trek world. Star Wars is far superior, and I'll leave it there. I haven't even got into the iconic characters.
But you must also remember, both Star Trek and Star Wars, when they came on to do their movies, none of them has ever won the Best Picture.
Very true.
Yeah.
But
an Oscar.
But Star Wars is the biggest selling movie franchise of all the time. Every time it releases a film, it goes back to the top.
Yes, but also,
where's Star Trek?
I don't know. There's been a few that haven't been so great.
I'm talking about when before my time, sorry.
That's the one where all the Ewoks at the Battle of Endor was a cute kid. It didn't do very much. This way, it's tarnished Star Wars reputation.
But even with that, reputation is still good because, as I said, it's the biggest media franchise in the world. 65 billion pounds. I didn't even get into the Mandalorian, did I?
No, let's not talk about Mandalorian.
We'll save that for later.
Yeah, we can talk about Discovery and Picard as well.
Yeah, but even the Mandalorian bit.
No, I don't know about that.
So when it comes to characters, Miss Isis, yes?
Picard all the way.
The old funny daddy. Who shaking on the camera? Who is your favorite? I have to stop it there. Now, who is your favorite character in the entire Star Trek movie?
Right. Well, you see, Star Trek being far, far greater
Pick 3.
a franchise than Star Wars has such a multitude of characters because we've got all the series. We've got the original series. We've got the Next Generation. We've got Deep Space Nine. We've got Enterprise. We've got Voyager. We've now got Picard. We've now
some
got
of them are really bad, especially Enterprise.
Enterprise. It's got its moments. I'm sorry. It's a Discovery as we have now.
And also, you remember, you've got the animated series.
Of course, we've got the animated series. So there's such a multitude of
Don't
characters.
talk about animated series.
Plus, there are all the films. There's the plus the 2 timelines of films.
So there's all of that to go.
And the racist one, when they blanketed out the fact that Khan was an Arab man and made him play.
Oh, so now you're accusing Star Trek of being racist anyway. So my favorite characters, well, if I go old school, it's got to be Spock from when I was a child, from the 60s, because the idea of somebody who a race of people who had dealt with their emotions and got rid of the kind of violent elements and had managed to become logical beings was really interesting to me. And so Spock is definitely one of my favorite characters. I think my next favorite character would be
Worf, who first appeared in The Next Generation.
Only because she fancies Michael Dorn.
Okay, don't have to grass me up.
No,
He don't like
We have to keep this civil. No drooling.
The man is
either of you.
gorgeous. Vulcan makeup or not.
Okay, no drooling. Let's get back to the point.
So yes, Michael Dorn, the rather gorgeous actor. Shout out to Michael Dorn if he's watching, who played Lieutenant Worf in both The Next Generation and in Deep Space Nine. It was absolutely fantastic. And again, I love the reimagining also of the Klingon species in the Discovery as well. I think it was great the way they did the makeup. I think actually it was really interesting. And then I would have to go with my favorite captain of all, the Sisko. Benjamin Sisko.
Rather, the Sisko.
The Sisko from Deep Space Nine, the most amazing captain ever. And yeah, I think those are probably my favorite characters. Of course, there are subsidiary characters that, there are, the Borg are fantastic. What a interesting concept, really interesting concept of people. There's all those fantastic creatures from Voyager. Actually, Enterprise had quite a number of very interesting characters as well and creatures. I loved Odo.
It was boring.
Odo, the shapeshifter, was also an amazing character. The Ferengi.
They should never have been designed.
What, the Ferengi?
Yes.
No, but they were interesting. Very interesting creatures.
Anybody with rocky teeth like that?
I don't know. The scary kind of munchy
Yes,
teeth.
but also remember the Ferengi were known sexists.
They were very sexist and they were very capitalist. It was all about the Latinum.
Yeah.
They did anything for Latinum.
I'm going to help you out because you're missing someone that's vitally important to the whole Star Trek universe. Someone that you've missed out. I'm going to mention him.
I thought we were going to talk about that.
Because he's one of my favorite characters. I shouldn't even say that. Not repping Star Trek at all. But Captain Kirk.
I've been asked to give my opinion.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. We're going to talk some more about characters later on, aren't we?
Yes,
Towards
we
the
are.
end, and I've got some other characters that I want to mention.
I was helping you out there, but
No, I'm not. Captain Kirk is not doing it for me.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Julian, who are your three favorite characters in the whole scheme?
Well, that's a difficult thing to narrow
Well,
down
it's not
to
that
three.
difficult.
Because, well, you couldn't do it. You came up with quite a few.
Yeah, three.
And then you had a couple of others. So the reason why it's hard to do because there's so many fantastic, iconic characters. You have like Obi-Wan, Luke, Skywalker, C-3PO, and R2-D2.
You've already got to 4.
Yeah,
Because your characters aren't as significant.
No, they are.
I mean,
they're
don't
fantastic.
get me
These are
wrong,
iconic
people.
characters.
I love
These are characters.
Star Wars too, but Star Trek just,
These are characters that have transcended the movie world and gone into people's homes and hearts and minds. And the majority of these characters that I mentioned, people will know. A lot of people won't know Sisko.
Well,
because unless you've watched that series,
there are people who
I
speak.
haven't watched. Yeah, there are people.
Yes.
Hang on, yeah, they're
It's
quite.
an actual dictionary. It's actually part of our whole human existence now.
And a lot of those people don't even admit to that because it's quite.
People actually believe they are Vulcans and live a Vulcan lifestyle.
Well, I don't want to meet those people. Well, I live on planet Earth and
So
on
what?
planet Earth.
Out of CP30,
I haven't. I was just going through characters.
Yeah, go for your.
So I have to narrow it down. So I would have to bring in the baddest man in the universe because of not only is he a fantastic iconic character that spans the whole of the series, aka Anakin / Darth Vader, which means Dark
Vader
Father in Dutch, because father means Vader means father. But also because the greatest tonsils graced our movie screens. James L. Jones, fantastic voice, wonderful black man, and he is voice of Darth Vader. So that's one of the reasons why I Darth Vader. And a lot of people know who Darth Vader is. You don't have to Google Darth Vader like you had to Google Cisco just now.
Well, I mean, you don't have to Google Captain Kirk, but I chose not to choose him.
Yeah.
But everyone knows who Captain Kirk is,
Mhm.
don't you?
And even some people may have to Google Worf. But anyway,
Really?
moving on, the other character. So this is a tough decision because Darth Vader's the one. But I'd have to go with.
Well, we've got
his-
Harry, our colleague out there, who's just said Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks was a bit like the laughing stock.
But Jar Jar Binks was played by a black man, so
Yes.
I quite like Jar Jar.
Yeah,
Binks.
but unfortunately,
And Jar Jar
it was-
Binks, I was saying Okiday for about
Yeah,
6 months.
The thing with Jar Jar Binks here is that what really annoyed me is that why do you need the comedic element in some of these films? They should get rid of the comedy element. So Jar Jar Binks had.
But it
Well,
was-
you know
but-
what it
but
is? It's
people
because
forget-
Star Trek can
People
do comedy. They can have characters who
No,
have that
but also,
comedic thing, and they do it well.
you
It's
have
so
to
well
remember-
integrated. But Star Wars,
but it, was,
less, you
but it
know,
wasn't a
just didn't
comedic
work.
character.
Well, it
One
was.
Jar Jar Binks was for the kids because you had to make it a universal audience for everyone.
That's the capitalism. the capitalism.
So,
And if you,
so you have one. So you have a character.
They did it to sell
and
toys.
also, I quite like
They
Jar Jar
did
Binks.
Jar Jar
Jar
Binks to
Jar
sell
Binks-
toys.
do you remember?
Jar Jar Binks has an
He was
innocent.
made to sell
innocent-
toys.
No, it wasn't.
He was made to sell
He was to
toys.
show an innocent quality and to show that there's other species.
you-
It was an
in the-
insincere character
Can
made
you
to sell
remember?
toys.
Can you remember why Jar Jar Binks here was banned from the Gongan City?
because he bought them.
No, because he was clumsy.
That too, but that
Jar
was the
Jar
last.
Binks.
That was the last straw because he had bought them.
Because
But he was a
He's-
major part of the
his
story.
clumsy
The first one.
antics basically always make him survive anything. When he was in the battle, him being clumsy, his, you know.
But he had
his-
positive energy as well. He's a
Yeah,
positive
he's-
spirit.
It's called positive clumsiness.
He had a positive mental attitude. Even though he had his clumsiness, he was still moving forward and trying to do good things for him and his people.
Yes, I think he became an advisor to
Yeah.
Senator Amidala or Prince.
Again, that was so ridiculous.
Well,
Jar Jar Binks at the end, he got all like, come on.
Made a mistake.
Come on.
But anyway,
and your
Jar
last
Jar
one-
Binks is not one of my characters.
No, that was Harry. I think we can read. People who are watching, do send your comments in, and we will read them, and we will make comments upon your comments. So Helen's now put in, what about the Star Wars comics?
Thank you, Helen. I didn't even get.
Oh,
I did-
Helen, I'm
I did
disappointed.
I
What
did
did she say?
mention.
What about the Star Wars comics?
I did mention the literary world. They did go into the literary world where it has best-selling books and stuff, but I forgot to mention comics as well. Which Boba Fett, he's
Star Trek even produces encyclopedias.
so does Star Wars.
Well, you
I have
probably
one.
if you
It's a look. Old
you-
Republic. This is a story that they haven't even gotten into yet,
and if
which
you
they will be going
if
into
you-
soon.
if you know a book publisher called Dorian Kingsley,
Mhm.
both that company has also produced like books to do like breakdowns of all the machines that you get in Star Wars.
Okay.
So if you ever go to like W.H. Smith's, pick up Dorian Kingsley book about Star Wars and all the crafts, and it's got it's all like broken down to all the characters,
I have
what
a,
they do.
I have a,
and
like
like-
an encyclopedia of all
Yes,
the different
like that.
characters as well.
and
Like,
it's the same thing with like a Star Trek. as
everyone.
well.
Yeah, I actually bought some for my nephew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, another character of mine that I really like, Obi-Wan, played by two fantastic British actors.
Alec Guinness. He got
Sir.
Sir Alec Guinness. Oh yeah, forget Sir Alec Guinness. Any
Oh,
Sir
like that makes any difference.
is Patrick Stewart got a Sir?
Isn't he a son?
Oh, okay,
He's a
so
son, yeah, he's a son, okay.
all right. So
But I'm not about that life,
Yes,
Sir
so
Alec
I'm not
Remember,
interested in that.
Patrick Stewart is a Shakespearean actor,
Yes,
yeah,
and he delivers his lines as such.
yeah.
make it so.
Engage,
Make it so.
engage.
So yeah, Obi-Wan and Ewan McGregor, fantastic. Another.
British. Would he describe himself as British or is he Scottish?
Scotland is in this.
He
My
comes
choice?
from the United Kingdom.
But
so
that's another
technicality.
conversation.
Yeah. Helen, help us out. Are you British or Scottish?
Ooh,
And the other one, the other character, is the wisest man in the in the universe.
You have to be wise.
You see? I don't even have to say the man's name.
Yoda.
And he knows.
Is Yoda actually a man?
Well, he's a male member of his species.
Yes. Okay.
But that's
So you can-
but interesting enough, yeah. Nobody knows what species Yoda is because
I mean,
'cause
again,
Lucas never told us
You
what
see,
species
again,
he is.
like I'm
But
a bit
in The
skeptical about
Mandalorian-
motives because yes, I was going to come to that. The baby Yoda character, though beautiful and cute as it is also was that not a very kind of money making kind of.
I don't think so at first.
That's very interesting. You should say that. You're the one who wanted to get a toy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for my daughter.
For herself as well, you know. Don't get that twisted. She wanted one for herself. And she's just gonna look at her daughter's one and think, oh, I wish that was mine.
But you have cute things on both sides.
Not really. There's not much cute. Oh yeah, Uhuru was cute.
Yeah, that's a different. Let's now. You've got the trebles.
But oh yeah, so
tribbles, yes.
Oh, dear.
People
So-
might think oh look, it was a child next to the Star Trek Forever.
it was a child next to me. Star Trek Forever. Oh, you're
How's
Star
everyone
Trek
doing?
fan. Boo to you, Helen.
Viva
Mm.
Star Trek! So where are we going to next? So we've spoken about characters. You've kind of given your list.
There's many others that I could have mentioned, like
Yes,
Mace
there's many
Windu
others.
and Lando Calrissian.
Well, we're going to talk about some of them later, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, let me see now. For both of them, you've got a whole lot of, like, as they will call them, exotic creatures. Now, which are your favorite exotic creatures, and which are the least one that you don't care for?
Well, obviously my favourite exotic creature is Worf.
She
I
loves.
mean, I
she
mean,
loves
you
Klingons.
know, I do love a Klingon. I love a Klingon. And you know, I mean, Romulans and Vulcans, space elves, as you call them, my brother.
Yes,
Space elves. I've always loved something with a pointy ears. I've always thought that quite cool.
What are you looking at my ears like that for?
Yeah,
the way
just
she's
checking,
looked at
just checking, you know, I'm just checking. But I think if we're going into creatures, let me see. Yeah, I mean, okay, so Ferengi are quite. I mean, they're probably my least favorite creature.
There you go.
They were not very nice at all. There was a whole host, but unfortunately, I just don't have the memory for it. Maybe you're better. In
Well,
Borg? What about the Borg?
no, I wasn't going to talk about the Borg. There's in not Enterprise. In Enterprise, there were a number of creatures as well. What was the blue one with the
the Andorians.
Andorians? I didn't really like Andorians, even though they turned
Yeah.
out to be okay.
You can't really talk about the original series because a lot of them were just
Yeah, you got
men in
you
people
got
in,
you got
in green makeup.
the Kardashians
Well, yeah, they were
and the
some of my,
Bajorians.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like the
I
Bajorians.
can't
I
stand
like the
Kim Kardashian
Betazoids.
either.
And
No,
I-
there's not that type of Kardashian.
No, I was going to talk about the the woman who was with Worf.
She was a Betazoid.
No. The host and the
Yes.
oh,
She was a Trill.
yes, Trills. I like Trills. So they would be the people that I like, and I did like Bajorans actually. Didn't like the Ferengi. You know, they were kind of horrible people, and yeah.
But it's also interesting, yeah, that I don't know what came first, yeah. The Trill as a race, or do you remember Stargate, the series?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, certain one of them, or they had a host that basically made their eyes glow and they're evil. You can tell when the evil host comes out with the eyes glow and they're talking in a funny voice. So I don't know which one came first. One series could have fed into another. So, what are your favorite creatures, and what is your least favorite creature from your?
Boy, I don't know the names like you guys know the names in Star Wars. So I would go. One of them would have to be a bounty droid.
Oh yeah, not nice. Not nice.
A bounty droid. A bounty droid / nurse droid. As in, if you haven't seen the Mandalorian series,
Yes, I know who it's talking
the
about.
Spoilers.
played by you pronounce his name Taiki Waititi.
Yes, Taiko Waititi.
He's another lovely man.
He's the voice of the Bounty Droid.
Yes.
What fantastic director that's made many.
Yeah. He also directed Thor Ragnarok and what.
And he's the voice of Korg. We're going to be talking about some of that next week, aren't we?
Yes, we will.
Okay. So yeah, there's the Bounty Droid that I thought was fantastic. Also, there's Baby Yoda. I don't know what species he is yet, as we have.
But do you prefer Baby Yoda or grown Yoda? Baby Yoda doesn't even speak.
I prefer grown Yoda because grown Yoda has more wisdom and understanding for people to.
I have to hold in my hand. When I said the creatures there, I mean creatures from your universe, not Isis universe. You're talking about Star Wars creatures. Well, I want to talk about Star Trek creatures.
Why? But she spoke about Star Trek's creatures.
I did. But did you mean the other way around? You want me to talk about the creatures that he liked?
No. I wanted you to stick to your canon.
Yes.
And you to stick to your canon.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Star Wars, Baby Yoda's in Star Wars. Invigilator, sort it out. So I've said
yes.
Bounty Droid.
Mine must be.
Is it? So we're allowed. They don't have to be humanoids, do they?
No, they don't have to be.
Okay, so Bounty Droid, Baby Yoda, but we don't know what species he is.
It possibly might be gender non-binary.
Let me think of one more. Now I don't know what species she is, but
I think I know where
another member of her clan, her planet, was in the third one, Return of the Jedi, and
can we read the screen? We've got some. Our lovely Ilaria is messaging us.
Hi, Ilaria.
What is she saying on the screen?
I can't really.
So who is this creature?
Yeah, so she was green and she does the dance.
Yes.
She's played by a black woman, but she's painted green in Jabba the Hutt's palace. And she does a dance.
Return of the Jedi.
Yes, in Return of the Jedi. Her, someone else who's kin to her is Ahsoka Tano, Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. And if you haven't seen, earlier on you mentioned animated series. The best ever animated series ever is Clone Wars. But it's not for kids. Not for kids under the age of 13. It's quite violent and Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, let me also add here that the dancer in Return of the Jedi, she met with a sticky end.
Yes, she did.
Yes, I think.
Mind you, Princess Leia managed to sort out
Jabba the Hutt.
Yes,
yes, I think she refused the advances of Jabba the Hutt.
But he's another fantastic character.
Yes, got his neck strangled.
Very handsome, isn't he?
If you say so, you
know. As you remember,
I was going right with Uhuru and
Julian.
Princess Leia.
As you remember, the Hutts are gangsters.
Yes.
There you go. They're gangsters.
Debbie has pointed out that yes, he may well be non-binary. And we're talking about the Yoda creature. We don't even know if there are genders.
But when he speaks like this, when he
It
gets
probably
old
is balance between the both sides.
Male and female. I mean, this is one of the great things about science fiction. You don't have all these binary things happening. Some creatures change. They can be different. Become one species, become another. They can be one gender.
That's all very interesting.
Change.
You know why? But they're all at the mercy of the writers.
Yeah. That's one thing we should, before we continue on, let me say these people from the Star Trek universe and Star Wars universe, George Lucas, Gene Roddenberry, these people have fantastically creative minds.
Yeah.
And even now, there's new people going on and becoming part of the Star Wars universe, the Star Trek universe. John Favreau,
yes.
Richard Kurtz, he was the original producer for Star Wars, and he's also produced the current ones as well. They're
and also,
all
one of the great
fantastic
things
people.
about Star Trek, actually coming to that, is how many of the actors in some of the like the Next Generation are now directing in Discovery.
Yes, Jonathan Frakes.
Yes, who played Data, who
Yes.
I should have actually said.
Jonathan Frakes played Commander Riker.
Sorry, Commander Riker. But no, what's this guy who played that?
Brent Spiner.
Yeah, Brent Spiner, who is also directing. Sorry. Apologies.
Was that why it's
Data.
so bad then?
No, it's not.
No,
Discovery is
that's
not
a
bad.
that's a low blow.
What are you talking about?
That's a low blow.
Discovery is great.
No, it's all right. Still.
All right, still, it's brilliant.
At this moment, it's just all right. Still, maybe tomorrow I'll talk
Oh
a bit
yeah, when
differently.
you're not debating, you love Discovery.
Don't forget
There's a
people to
certain
cast your
post.
votes.
Yeah, he loves Discovery.
There's a certain female
Female
star.
lead who, yeah. Mm,
Get this man a bib. He's dribbling.
yeah. So, yes.
But also Industrial Light and Magic as well, who have gone on from Star Wars. They were the
Oh, the special effects.
inspiration for many special effects throughout the years.
Well,
They-
better and better.
They got creative in the first one because they didn't know what they were
Yeah.
doing, so they had to come up with ideas. And over the time, they've developed, and thankfully, George Lucas still owns the company. But the reason why I mention them because next week we're going to be talking DC versus Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the films that have come out, DC and Marvel,
Yeah.
Transformers, a lot of these special effects movies, the special effects has been done by Industrial Light and Magic.
And some of them have been also done by Weta Digital
Mm.
over in New Zealand. The same people who've done Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
Thank sci-fi for these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would we
And
be without
we
it?
and we also have to give praise to one particular film that changed the way special effects was actually created, and that's 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
You have to go that far back to see
Mm.
what could be
Stanley
achieved.
Kubrick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the
And
greatest
those-
directors ever.
Yeah,
And
The
those-
Shining was on the other day.
And those were the days where they actually make things out of models.
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange,
Mm,
one of my all-time favorites.
that's it. Which they, Legion,
Yes.
the series, the Marvel series, they took the costume and
Oh,
a lot
yes,
of
of course,
in the
yes.
first series, they
Okay,
took a lot
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Clockwork Orange.
Well,
Was
there'll always be
inspiration.
cross pollination anyway.
Mm.
Anywhere you go, like you'll have they'll use them as like Easter eggs
Yes.
all over the place. Spot the Easter eggs, so you go on like an Easter egg hunt anytime you watch Star Wars or Star Trek, where they put these little things in.
Mm.
So tell me, where are we going to next, Invigilator?
But we're going to talk a little bit about philosophy and
Religion of these two great shows.
Philosophy and religion.
Mm.
Hmm.
That's you're pausing. Shall I start?
Yes, go on, go.
you start.
I know you love to. He's done this on Portobello Radio. He's given us an amazing breakdown.
Yeah,
I
I
have
do
to
like
big
to
him up
talk
for
about
that.
Star Wars,
He loves to talk
the
about the
philosophy of Star
philosophy.
Wars, because it's fantastic.
Yeah, let them rock it down.
Because we live in a world where some people, not everyone, thinks that there's an oppressive regime that's controlling the people, but there's no way for us to break out of it. In the Star Wars universe, they break out of their oppressive regime. Thankfully, Obi-Wan Kenobi gets in contact with Luke Skywalker, and they spark a positive revolution amongst the people of the universe out there amongst the stars. They
Galaxy far, far away.
in a galaxy far, far away. They banded together. They got some friends. They got his sister, brought them all together. Got other people, Han Solo and Lando Calrissian, and the rest of the rebels, and used the positive energy that was sparked by the Jedi, who were inspired by samurai and shinobi warriors of ancient Japan, because George Lucas, he was actually a major fan of Japanese cinema from the 50s and 60s, which inspired him. If you watch films such as Yojimbo, you will see the beginning sequence is the exact same beginning sequence. Well, they use Japanese people, but in the Star Wars movie, the beginning sequence with R2D2 and C-3PO is taken from the beginning, inspired by Yojimbo, and the spirituality of the samurai warriors is what infused him to come up with the Jedi. But it's just a case that the Jedi have mystical powers similar to the ninjutsu, the ninjas of Japan. They have mystical arts that those mystical arts that the Jedi used
Yeah.
inspired many to go on and
That's-
destroy
Yeah, and
the Empire.
And as you know, with Star Wars, it was all to do with the hero's journey,
Yes.
Luke Skywalker's journey.
And as I watched last night in Stargirl, they said heroes can come from anywhere, which is very true.
No. Easter eggs.
Yeah,
Easter eggs.
It's only one way, but it's
No-
very
Spoilers.
true.
No
Spoilers.
spoilers. Remember, no spoilers.
It's only if you ain't watched it.
Spoilers.
Yay me. Anyway, anyway, but in Star Wars, that is something that's truly happened because Anakin, he's a former slave, who's out in the middle of nowhere in Tatooine, and they
Not a nice place to be.
and it gets found by Qui-Gon Jinn. Oh yeah, I forgot about Liam Neeson in the movie and Darth Maul. Another couple of iconic characters there. But anyway, so yeah, they get found. He gets found by them, and
Dark.
out in the middle of nowhere. And the same as Luke Skywalker, he's in the middle of nowhere, drifter. No one really, a bit of a loner, and he develops into the hero. Oh yeah, Darth Maul.
Yeah.
One of the Knight brothers. But yeah, one of the main ethoses about Star Wars is finding positive energy, people coming together, developing that positive energy, and creating upliftment in your community, so that you can transcend your local community and go up into the galaxy and fight
Up and away.
and fight the galactic empire,
And that's how.
destroy the
People,
evil.
this man, I swear down, he thinks
Destroy-
he is a Jedi, and he thinks
And-
he lives.
And
No,
that's-
hold on.
that
There was
that is what the world needs a bit of, you know,
Yeah.
a bit of Jediism and a bit of like intergalactic force.
see the
where
last-
force of love, everybody coming together.
one of the in the last film.
And
the Rise-
Ilara is very happy that you've mentioned the hero's journey. She says yes.
Yes, in the last Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, there was a fantastic moment that gave me goosebumps while I was in the cinema.
We've got a question. 1 minute. If you were in Star Wars or Star Trek, what kind of person would you be, and what would you get up to? We'll answer that one after I talk about the philosophy of Star Trek.
in the film Rise of Skywalker, there's a moment when towards the end, spoiler alert, but Poe is a bit down in the dumps. He's thinking, oh no, we're gonna lose, and then all of a sudden, a fantastic Billy D. Williams jumps in, and he's like on the speaker, he's like, "Not today, brethren. We're gonna win. Look." And then
Okay, I think
you
it's time that I
see
speak
the
about Star
backdrop,
Trek.
and
Somebody's
you
getting a
see-
bit too carried away here.
see the whole of the universe come together,
Well,
and band
he did
together.
drink the blue milk.
Yes.
band together and become destroy the evil empire and just put Palpatine back in his place.
Okay, so I'm not going to, because I kind of started off talking about the philosophy of Star Trek and the fact that Gene Roddenberry was well known to be a humanist. I mean, I'm not humanist myself, but I get where he was coming from, and the idea of like a utopian, not a utopian world, but a world where humans have gone past greed and they've gone past war and disease. But for me, one of the things that I love the most about Star Trek, its philosophy, is the prime directive, which is that you come across another species and you get to know them. You get to learn about them. You don't kill them. You're looking skeptical there.
Well, the prime directive is usually like your non-interference
Yes.
in,
And
in developing cultures.
yeah, but you get to know, yes, and you also get to know the creatures or the species or whatever without destroying them. You don't if you come across a pre-warp.
Sometimes they do destroy them, though. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, if you come across a pre-warp civilization,
Sometimes.
you don't interfere in what they are doing. You don't try and kind of like, in the way it's like an anti-colonialism message for me, because this idea that you go along and you meet people and, oh, they're so primitive, they've got to do things our way. It's against that notion. It's anti-colonialist in its nature, so I really like that. Sorry, yeah, the prime directive Yeah, that's to me an anti-colonialist stance.
Yeah.
The thing about not killing other species, if they attack you, you have to defend yourself, but you don't go and then conquer them, and that's the whole thing. So, like, even with the Borg, you know, they try to reason with them. They don't just automatically go in there and start blowing them up.
There's no reasoning.
There is not.
Yeah.
That's what they realize. I mean, even to the point where Captain Picard is actually assimilated.
Yeah, but that's,
I
see,
mean,
that's the
there's
thing. That's the thing. They're a bit. Oh no, I'll let you finish.
And then, for example, any species that's created is given a chance to thrive. So when Wesley Crusher, who was a teenager at the time, creates, this is the one for me, he creates the nanomites.
Yeah, nanites.
Nanites. See, this is why you're the Invigilator. So when he creates the nanites, this new species, and they're like little tiny microscopic little
Robots, really.
robots, yes, cybernetic beings. They basically allow them to go and live and thrive and become their own species. They don't think, oh my God, what have you created? Let's destroy them. And even when there's situations, I'm trying to remember, there was an episode where a species is basically putting the whole crew under a threat, you know, at risk. They give them a chance. They're always about giving every species a chance and trying to understand them from their own perspective. So that for me is the overriding philosophy.
There was one episode in Discovery when they went to the planet that made what's his name go wild.
Yeah.
And he started chasing. When it was trying to send a message, that planet, and it was quite a spiritual planet. And they had
in the yeah.
And they wanted to create harmony, so they sent out a signal to bring everyone to that planet to stop the war.
Yeah.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, so for me, the philosophy is that the prime directive and the non-interference and the non-warring and respecting all beings and giving
But they do war though. Them
No,
Klingons.
Yeah, no,
Them Klingons.
no, but we're talking about the Federation,
Yeah.
the philosophies
Okay,
of the Federation. So obviously you go out and you meet other creatures, but also there's a progression that I love. So in the original series, there are certain species. There's humans, and there's a very diverse group of humans. You know, they had a Russian on board, a Japanese American on board, African American sister, and they were all like in roles. And and they had a Klingon, and then they go to the next generation, and they've then got Data, who's an android, and then you've got Worf, and you've got Klingon now, who's part of the team, and
because
Betazoid, who's part of the team, and then you get to Deep Space Nine, and then you've got Praetorian, who's part of the team. You've got the Trill, who's part of the team. You know, you've got every single series, more and more different species join the Federation.
The
so
universe.
like in Discovery, in not Enterprise, Janeway,
Voyager.
in Voyager, you then got the Doctor, who's a hologram, which is amazing. You've got a hologram doing all the medical stuff.
His name's Julian, isn't it?
No, that's the Doctor from Deep Space Nine.
That's Julian Bashir.
Who then plays
Ra's al Ghul.
Al Ghul in Gotham.
And he's in Game of Thrones as well.
Yes, of course.
And he had a very short part.
Yeah, and
Before
then
you
and then
Stabbed to death.
you get the guy who did the cooking in Voyager. I've forgotten what species he is.
Neelix.
Yeah, Neelix.
Selection.
Yeah, again. So so at every juncture, every timeline, you get different species who join and become part of that federation. So we're like going beyond the boundaries, you know. So that's what I love. Can we, before we get to the next bit, can we answer the question that Helen put? If you were one character,
I already done. You know what I'm gonna say.
all right, who would you be and what would you be up to?
I would be a Jedi.
I think he thinks he is a Jedi.
A very wise Jedi, like, on a par with Master Yoda and
It takes many years.
Mace Windu.
But Helen's saying, what kind of person would you be?
What kind of? I'll be a freedom fighter, fighting for the people, being wise to many people and helping. I would have loads of Padawans.
Yes, but it's a point of view when it comes to like being a Jedi, because as
Someone said that they like Star Wars more, Greek, etc. I'm very disappointed in you, Greek, etc.
Geek, etc. is a very
Geek, etc. Sorry.
Is a very smart person. I love the original. Yes, indeed. Next gen.
I love the original.
But Enterprise on. You get me, bruv. Enterprise was dry, innit? Dry to the big bad bone.
Enterprise wasn't the best.
And it
Star
had a
Trek
very
series.
good actor in it. The,
Scott Beluga.
Scott Beluga, who was
Yeah. Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
So Helen loves the philosophical elements of Star Trek under the guise of sci-fi. I think they managed to approach important issues other series or franchise could not. Thank you. So now, what would you be up to? You'd be fighting. You'd be a rebel. You'd be a Jedi in
You've
Star
been chopping
Trek.
down people
Right.
with
Okay. Now,
lightsabers.
if I was in Star Trek,
Helping people.
I would be a captain, I think, because I think African women we need, I mean, in Discovery, your wife to be, no, she's married.
Well, Shanika O'Neill. Or
Yeah,
something.
she not O'Neill.
Martin Green.
Shanika, yeah.
Shanika.
Her character is not the captain, but she's like the lead in it, the series.
Yeah, she is.
She was a
she
captain
is.
in the first episode for a couple minutes.
Yeah, and then
When
she
she
got
took
put
the
in the
ca-
brig.
Well,
So I would be a captain.
as long as you're not going to start a Klingon war.
No, I would be a captain, and I would be about. What would I be doing? I would be trying
going
to.
across the universe looking for strange and new creatures to interfere with.
So you're telling me what I'd be doing? You see, I would not
That's
be.
what
I'd be
captains do.
No. Wait a minute.
Isn't that what captains do?
no. So I would be like
In
a
the-
female captain representing the African woman,
Yeah.
and not being oppressed by men telling me what to do.
Okay, but what would you do?
just falling
I
into
would
your
As a
be-
role.
captain of the Enterprise, what else do they do other than
Well-
go look for?
No, they don't. They'll go on a 5-year mission into deep
Exactly.
space. Yeah, but they're not sort of like looking for people.
I
They
suppose.
just come across
I
new
suppose
civilizations.
I would just be again exploring and enjoying that whole role of
That is-
exploring. And
No
I-
adventures like a Jedi.
and I would try to always, and I'd want to have some sort of like, the Vulcans. I'd want to probably be a Vulcan, an African woman Vulcan, who.
So you can be
So I
wise.
can do the Vulcan
Nerve pinch.
nerve pinch, and I can use my mind to your mind, my thoughts to your thoughts. So I'd be
You
able
could do
to
that as a Jedi.
Yeah, but I think
Yes,
that would
but as they say, with the Jedi, it works well with people of a weak mind.
Yeah.
So I would like to work. Yeah, that was I think what I would be doing.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Move along.
And I think I'd be really interested in
Okay.
getting to know
That was
know
good.
more about
I
the
thought Alec
Borg.
Guinness was in the room.
Because 7 of 9, of course, again another example of how we progress. Because by the time we get to Voyager 7 of 9, an ex-Borg is now part of the crew, and we watch her transformation from being a member of the Borg into being
Like
back in the-
her humanity.
Yeah.
Chewbacca. I haven't even mentioned Chewbacca.
you'd be Chewbacca, yeah, of course.
No. I'm just saying
let's have
another iconic character there.
let's have a moment of silence because the person who played Chewbacca, Peter Matthew, passed away.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed. So we're getting close to the end of this session, and I know we're going to have the last session that we were going to talk about. What was that going to be, Invigilator?
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, about people of
Yes,
us.
black people.
Yes.
Yes, people of African
Black,
heritage.
yes, black people in the universe, in science fiction. Now that is very interesting. And as you know, in sci-fi films, they usually die first.
So what was the talk?
Yeah, so Geek Etc. is pointing out that each captain is really different. Kirk was really hands-on, whereas Picard was kind of like stay on the ship until.
Kirk was the best, but you mentioned Cisco. He was the
Yeah,
black one, wasn't
Cisco, man. I love Cisco. Cisco was the Cisco. That would be me.
He was no nonsense.
I'd be the Isis.
he? Is he the black one?
Vulcan. Yeah. The
Okay.
bald,
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
brother.
That's the one that had
He did his things.
my guy from Game of Thrones.
Star
in it.
Wars is the first film I watched at the cinema, so I love it. Thank you, Ilaria.
Which
I think Kirk was more my style captain.
Alaria, Alaria, you don't look that old to have seen it
Star
in the
Trek
cinema.
all the way. Yeah, Ilaria looks good.
Isn't it?
So yeah, let's talk about as we end this. Let's talk about the AFRICENTRIX kind
Yes.
of Afro. Let's talk about representation of people of African heritage in the team. So Star Trek, we had Cisco, we had Worf, we had Lieutenant Uhura, who was one of the first portrayals of a positive role of an African American woman.
I
And
wouldn't
was
say that.
1966.
I wouldn't say that too much because she wasn't the most positive of roles because she was a glorified secretary.
Yes,
She did just
but
answer the phone.
But this is a
No,
time when
no.
African American women
There was
were
a, she
She
had,
had
still
a
being
pivotal role.
and
portrayed.
she could sing.
Yeah, but
Yes.
African American women were not being portrayed very positively. We were still, it was 1966, my brother.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
Okay.
and for a factoid, I'll tell you, yeah.
but she was beautiful.
Yeah. She
She
wanted.
still is.
She wanted to leave Star Trek.
Is it
Yeah. But guess who asked her
Harry.
to stay?
Kirk?
No. No.
Gene was-
Oh yes, Martin Luther
Martin
King.
Luther King
Oh right.
Yes.
told her to stay on the show.
Okay,
And she
fair
wanted
enough.
to leave.
So we have, of course, Michael Dorn, who's Worf. We have Jodie LaFarge. So Jodie LaFarge in The Next Generation with his visor, who's obviously a visually impaired person and through the visor is able to see. We have Guinan, who's a really interesting character. Whoopee! Guinan is a creature that no one knows. Again, coming back to the
What
species,
wisdom.
what she's kind of like a Jedi in that sense. That there's nobody.
Yeah, because in
no,
a way,
she's
yeah,
very
because
wise.
she's as old as the Cube.
Exactly, she's always existed. Oh, we didn't even get to talk about him. We don't know what the Q is, but so we had Guinan, Star Trek all the way. Yeah. So who else did we have? We had two.
But she
two
says
Vul-
JC is very persuasive.
two Vulcan was
Yeah,
a great
two-
Vulcan,
Yeah, a little bit stiff as a Vulcan.
but that was the whole point. He was
Oh,
a
you-
very tuned in Vulcan. So
Maybe
I'm just
because-
going to throw those things out. Those things
Is that it?
out. There's
Must
so
be
many.
more.
No, there's so many more characters.
There's the one. See, I'm gonna have to help her out again. What's his name? Dalton.
No,
We had this. Remember the guy? Because in the original series, there's a black man that creates a android
Oh yes.
that goes a bit haywire and tries to kill out everybody.
Yeah, but
Daystrom.
Daystrom.
It's Daystrom.
And he's also
what's
the
it-
Daystrom universe is actually in Picard's series.
Yeah, because what he actually done, yeah, he created a computer system, yeah, where they wouldn't have to have a captain on the ship, but the computer on the ship went rogue.
They tried to test it on the Enterprise.
Yeah,
and of course,
and he had a nervous breakdown.
the best or one of the best is of course Captain Michael, or is she Lieutenant Michael, in Discovery. What's her
I don't know what her rank was, because remember she was devoted up.
Yeah, she was.
After-
Yeah.
She's become she's just like I think she's a science officer.
Yeah.
She became a science officer.
Yeah.
She's second.
She had
she's
no
second-
rank at
she's second
first.
to the captain now.
No, she was
So
captain.
that's again
Yeah.
the second
Now she's the second in command.
positive portrayal of an African woman
And
in
now they've-
Star Trek.
Now they've
Like,
gone
really
into the
positive.
future.
Yeah.
She may be the captain.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the future.
But as you know, yeah, but with her,
But I should be.
Anyway, it's your turn
Huh?
now. It's your
What
turn
boo
now.
to the Star Trek? Boo. Right, yeah. So Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mace Windu.
Yeah.
What was that? Mace Windu.
very thin.
No, we have the voice of
James L. Jones.
James L. Jones.
That's only three. Come on.
No, there's more than
Star
that.
Trek.
Oh,
That
Carl
was-
Weathers.
Yeah, you're talking about Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And Richard Ayoade. He's in the Mandalorian as well.
Is
he? He plays you see the android. See
Oh,
when
but
he
you
does
guys
the
can see him
voice.
though. I'm talking
Yeah.
about where you can actually see the people. You can see that they're people of African heritage.
But I
What's the
like
point?
androids as
I mean,
well.
we love
like
Yes,
androids
no, but
and we
we
love
have-
Darth
I
Vader,
like-
but you can't
I like-
actually see him.
Yes,
but I like the
would
fact
like
to see-
the person.
We want to
as
see an
represented
African
in the film.
representation.
Okay, but I'm also going to say Taiki Waititi as well.
Yes,
He's not
but-
African. He's
Mhm.
Maori.
Yeah, but he's still black.
Okay, that's another debate. I'm talking about
His-
people
his
of
skin is-
African. I'm
his
talking
skin
about
is
African.
dark,
I'm talking
isn't
about
it?
African.
Okay.
African. People of African heritage, not
He could have
every
his
non-white
people.
person.
His people could have
Yes.
migrated because I'm
Yes.
struggling here.
Yes.
I'm struggling.
I am the
Oh,
Invigilator. You're splitting hairs. You're not going to get
Um,
away with that one.
Who else? Oh, there's the John Boyega.
Yes.
Almost
But,
forgot.
yeah, that was a brilliant representation.
John
I have to pick up
Boyega.
that one.
And then when you actually
And
when you actually check it, it's underpopulated by African Americans. And why is that?
They're all on a planet somewhere, chilling.
So there's a special planet of African people in Star
That's
Trek
where-
and Star Wars.
That's where my Jedi comes from.
Also, there was that really interesting
See-
species in Star
you
Trek
see,
that were
pub-
half black and
Bring the
half white.
drink. Yeah, man, have a
Public
drink, yeah.
Enemy made a song, an album about it. Fear of the Black Planet.
Yeah.
That they should do Star Wars Fear of the Black Planet. That would be a wicked episode.
Okay, so like we're gonna have to wrap up in a minute, people, because
Yeah.
we're coming to the end. We started a few minutes late, so we reserve the right to finish a few minutes late.
Okay.
Yes, we
So
do. Of course we do.
We've gone through the philosophy and what else have we spoken about today?
You know, the creatures,
Characters.
the characters, the
Positive
philosophy,
upliftment.
religion, and
The representation.
Multiculturalism.
representation. From both
Spirituality.
Of, yeah, from both of you, yeah. What is the film that you would like them to make? I'm going to ask both of you. You first, and then you.
Okay.
I would like them to make a film about what happened with Deep Space Nine after the Cisco, the last episode. We didn't know where did they end up? What happened? Odo went back to his people. Cisco became this like a godlike being. His son went off to the academy, I believe. I mean, what happened with Deep Space Nine? I mean, where are all the characters? I'd like to see a Deep Space Nine film. What's happened, like how many years in the future? Because I love Deep Space Nine.
Interesting. They might even turn up in the next series of Picard. You never know.
Yeah, but please, my only thing, because the one thing I found disappointing with Picard, because I love Picard and I love the fact they did that, is the whole situation with No, leave him alone. Patrick Stewart is a national treasure.
I look like him with my bald head and thing.
No, I'm talking.
This is
That's
Patrick
enough.
Stewart's hand.
I am a
I'm
Patrick
talking
Stewart
about
fan.
data because androids don't age, so
Yeah, he
that
did look
concerned
old.
me. I would like somehow for CGI in future, if you're Star Trek, I'm gonna shout out if you're doing anything more with androids in the future, please. Androids don't age and put on weight and
De-age them, please.
de-age them, please. So yes, please, can we have a Deep Space Nine film? I would love to see that.
But the guy's quite old now, isn't he? The main actor.
No, he's
Quite a few years.
he's still a very handsome brother.
Well, you might remember Black Don't Crack.
Classically trained, handsome brother. The Cisco.
Anyway,
And you, what's the film that they would like to make?
the Old Republic. You was going forward. I would love them to go back to when the Jedi were at their pomp and the Sith were at their pomp and things were
Yes,
were
and-
on point.
And you,
Well,
when it
actually,
comes to
I
battle.
would be going backwards because Deep
Oh, yeah,
Space
yeah.
Nine is before.
But you just
yeah.
say you going
Yeah.
to the future.
Yeah, but it wouldn't
So-
be past Voyager.
So I'd
Voyager's
like to
gonna be
them
the
to
future.
go back maybe
you like
500 years.
You like them to go back to the days of like Darth Plagueis.
Darth
Right.
Plagueis and when Yoda was young, because Yoda would have been.
Yeah,
But he's young already.
No,
You've
because
got- you've got him
Yoda
in-
is about 800-900 years old.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
you can go back to when
So he's like not his baby years, but he's kind
when
of
he's like his
adolescence.
teenage
Yeah,
years and
okay.
and when he becomes a man, a young man.
So
young
we
man.
see like the stroppy, like the Groot kind
Before
of
he-
version, the teenage Groot version.
Before
of
he got
Yoda.
his limp and stuff.
Okay.
yeah, someone kick him in the neck.
How he got his limp. So I'd like to
I
see
like that. I like that. How Yoda got his limp.
Okay.
That would be an
That
interesting
sounds a bit like
storyline.
how Stella got a groove back, right?
There you go. Okay, so I'm thinking like, are we near the end now?
I think we could be skimming the edge of the end.
So, Invigilator, how do you want to sum up? What's going to happen now?
Oh, what's happened on Instagram?
Well, I'm going to sum up. We've had two great people talking with their hearts and their passion about the shows that they love,
Star Trek.
giving it all. Yeah. You, everyone out there, you can cast your votes. Which one do you think is the better show, Star Wars or Star Trek?
There's no comparison.
You know,
$65 billion.
and that's
It's
it.
not about money. We've
And that's
transcended
it.
money.
But it's about popularity.
We are not
The reason why it's
capitalists.
got that much money is because so
Man-
many
Man
people
love it- love
go
to talk.
and watch
Man
it,
love to
read
talk.
it, everything.
Everything.
Play the game,
Man love to talk.
I
play
know.
the game. What else? Listen to the music,
And as
read
they,
comics.
and as they say in Highlander, there can only be one.
There can only be one.
There's no ties in this thing. There's a one and then there's a two.
Well, not necessarily.
No, stop
Because-
splitting hairs.
Because in the DC universe and the Marvel world, sometimes when they do verses, it means
There's
that
no multiverse here.
they're going to team up.
There's no multiverse
I've
here.
got those comics.
As in Teenage Mutant versus Batman.
Right, that's for
They
another.
team up.
That's for next week.
That's
so
another story.
we want to hear your views and
Right.
your opinions.
Send your comments. Write down and send your comments. We will read them and hopefully we will answer your questions. and
Oh
we
yeah,
will
Mas
respond.
Kanata! Lapita Long. Thank you, Geek Cetera. Geek Cetera. Geek Cetera. Oh yeah,
Geek
as
cetera.
in etc.
I said
Wow.
it, I thought it was Greek.
Yeah, Lapita Nungyo. I can't read.
Nyong'o.
Nyong'o, yeah.
Yes.
John, I was gonna the black girl that
So
they have a
basically,
feeling. They have a
Geek,
feeling.
I've obviously won because you're having to tell him.
No,
How
I was
many
gonna
characters?
mention that.
That's right.
I was gonna mention that,
Yeah, we
But-
said the James Earl Jones.
but I got cut off.
So
Yeah,
so
send your feedback, send your messages to our.
send your feedback. Which one is the winner? Which one you like? Blah blah blah.
There's only one.
And
The
as you know,
Force.
there can only be one.
Yeah.
And don't forget, next week, same time, same place, it'll be me versus Junior.
The Titanic debate.
I will be the Invigilator.
DC versus
This is Marvel.
Marvel.
And you see how Marvel mush up DC and leave it in the ground.
Not really.
Mush it up.
Oh,
If it was a running race, they'll be still stuck in the blocks.
remember, the Force is
I'm
still
going to
strong.
say to you next week, please tune in. It's not going to be easy because Marvel and it's. I'm glad I'm the Invigilator because this week clearly there could only be one winner: Star Trek
Yeah, Star Wars.
and all of that. So we want to thank you.
Thank you for being here. I
Thank
hope
you.
you enjoyed it. And
I'm Isis. Star
welcome.
Trek forever.
I'm JC Kamau. Nathaniel Kernlock says they were both great.
thank you, Nathan, Natty. And I am the Invigilator Junior Thomlin. I was on those, I would have done you for it.
The
I'm JC
Salvador Dali
Kamau.
race.
Without a mistake.
Peace out, people.
Peace. Wow. Now we can tell these things.